yogis. I am coming to you with a quick, very casual tutorial on Chaturanga. Some of you have asked me for this, and if you take vinyasa class and you are still struggling with Chaturanga, don't worry, you are in the norm. We've all been there. Here's a couple tips that helped me really start to use proper form and get better and stronger. And now Chaturanga is just a normal part of my practice and don't really have to think about it anymore. So, a couple of things. Chaturanga push-up, right? If you're not sure what I'm talking about, it's when you're in a vinyasa and you come to plank. Okay, you can always have your knees down, come to plank, and then you lower halfway, or you lower to your belly, and then you come through to cobra, or you come through to upward facing dog. Okay, so it's the Chaturanga push-up is what I'm talking about here. So key to this is keeping your elbows in tight. All right, so it takes a lot of different muscles and strength to do that, as opposed to kind of your traditional push-up where your elbows are wide. This is where your elbows are tight. So couple of things. You can always start by having your knees down. That's a great way to begin to build the strength. Okay, so don't feel like you can't put your knees down in a class. Absolutely. I always offer that option to my yogis. All right, so you can put your knees down to take some of the weight off, all right, to start building the strength and getting the correct form. Now, about the elbows. So a lot of times new yogis find themselves they kind of get down and then their elbows open and then their belly collapses to the mat. If you're experiencing that, here's what I want you to think about. And it's a really weird analogy, but pretend like you have, I always say, quarters in your armpits and you have to hold them in tight. So if you just sit or stand and, okay, you've got relaxed elbows like this. Now squeeze them in tight like you're holding something under your armpits and you can't let them go. Okay, and then you just extend your arms and you bend your arms. All right, extend and bend. That's exactly what we're aiming for while we're doing the Chaturanga push-up. So instead of having a thing of quarters, what you can do is get a couple little dish towels or something, fold them up, put them under your armpits. I know this is kind of weird, but whatever works, right? Put them under your armpits, all right? And now squeeze them, okay? Come to your push-up position. You want your wrists right under your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Core engaged, lifted, right? We're not sagging when we go down. We're nice and lifted. Maybe you have, your toes curled under. And right here, I'm squeezing to keep those towels in, and I'm squeezing as opposed to collapsing, elbows open. Let me show you. So if I were to let my elbows open, those towels would fall out, right? So you got to squeeze, keep those towels in there, all right? So that's one trick to help you start feeling what it's supposed to feel like. Another trick is if you get a yoga strap. See, I'm already starting to lose breath. There's so much work using all those muscles right there, right? To hold yourself up. Get a strap, make a loop so that you can wrap it around your elbows. And if your elbows start to bow out, then the strap will resist you, okay? So you can just try it a couple of times, like, if I try to put my elbows out, the strap won't go, so I'm keeping my elbows in. So that's another way, and you have to kind of make sure you get the tightness correct, and then you try it out. Again, wrists under shoulders, spread your fingers wide, engage your core, wrap the belly in. All right, high on those toes. Again, also lifting the kneecaps to engage the quads. All right, so I'm going down. I'm resisting. If I try to put my elbows out, I get stuck. All right, I'm laying on the strap. So elbows in tight, and then you can come through. Other than that, remember that you're always exhaling when you push down, and you use a big inhale when you come through to cobra or upward facing dog. And try to not let that belly collapse and that low back go. Try to really resist. And put your knees down. If you come down halfway and you think, oh gosh, I'm going to collapse, I'm right here, put your knees down, then lower down all the way. Keep your elbows in tight, just like a grasshopper. Okay, I hope that helps. And let me know if you have any questions. And don't worry, Chaturanga takes a while, and then you'll master it, and it'll feel so good. It'll be no big thing, and your arms will get nice and toned, and you'll feel so good about yourself. But otherwise, you should feel good about yourself. And namaste. Bye.